Hello and good afternoon to all of you from us here at Julian Campbell Foundation. And the purpose of this video is just to talk about our experiences with parents. And while for the major part, we look after young people. We look at ways to help them manage their mental health and well-being, ways of developing their emotional intelligence, and for the greater part, this involves the parents. Not all the time, but when they're under 10 years old, then chances are that we have to work with this beneficial when we work with the parents. So, what have we seen really make a difference? So we want parents to be working in a more purposeful way. And it really helps to look at a vision, like a vision of how you see you and your family. And for that, you can go forward 20, 30, 40, or 50 years. And in that moment, like let's say, for example, you go forward 30 years or 35 years, what would you expect to be seeing? Like, with your children, how would it, what would success look like to you? And maybe you could even imagine like a family gathering where your children are there, grown up. Maybe they've got their own children, they've got their wives, their husbands, their families. Like, what kind of things are they doing? Like, what kind of qualities or characteristics are really important to you? What would you like to see in your children and your grandchildren? What depicts success for you? And so once you've looked at that and you've seen what's really important to you, and if you're doing this like with your partner, then the two of you do it together, it kind of like helps. It's kind of like a family, like a mission statement. And looking in the future and then coming backwards is just so much easier once you can see what the success looks like and see what, how your children are. And so that would be a first thing to do. And this is really helpful for long-term goals. And then when you see behavior and actions that you like, you can really kind of like, wow, really compliment that person, your child, because it's something that you've already seen. There's something that's really important to you and something that you can see them achieving, like in the many years to come. And it must be, and it's just really exciting to see that young person or young person in your life behaving according to those values that are really, really important to you. So we say the first thing is for you to do that. So look at what's important, like, projecting yourself 35 years, 40 years ahead. And then those are the values. That's where you start. And the majority of things are, when we want to lead, we have to lead how we want people to follow. And it's the same things with children. So about 80% of parenting is modeling. And so when you are modeling, then, for example, you might be sitting down and you're having a meal, and are you going to take your phone up and start using, your smartphone in the middle of a meal? If you're said to your children that doesn't work, and you don't want any mobile phones at the table, because like, this is family time, and this is time for us to eat and time for us to speak, reflect, because a lot of research shows that eating together, children and young people that eat 5 times a week, like have family meals, are just much more put together. Their achievement is better. Their emotional intelligence is higher. They're less likely to have mental health difficulties, less likely to go to drink or drugs. So once you're there in that situation, are you going to take up your phone and start calling somebody or messaging somebody, or are you going to walk the talk? So you've really got to model who it is, the behavior you want your children to see. And let's go on to, so I'm talking about 3 things that we can do here. So we've talked about having a mission statement, and it's really important having that mission statement, projecting yourself 35 years in the future and your children, what kind of qualities are they displaying, which qualities are important and matter to you. And those are the qualities that you bring into the present, and you start modeling the person that you want them to become. And what else can we do? A lot of criticism. Now, I used to be a teacher. I used to be a teacher consultant, and I found that the parents that were most successful with their children was when I contacted a parent and I said, look, your child is really great. However, they've got a barrier to learning. And if they carry on doing this, that, and the other, they're not going to achieve what I feel they're capable of achieving. And different parents behaved in different ways. But the parent that was most productive was the one that grounded their child or took something away. So I don't know whether it's access to a computer game or their mobile phone or something like that. They took it away for a few days. These were the situations that were really, really productive. And it was these situations where the young people really turned things around quicker. So, so that really meant a lot to me, just to see what that looked like in action. So when we're say something to a child, and if they don't do it, then it's really, you really have to follow that up and do something about it, and by entrusting them with something, and then if they don't follow through, taking it back from them just for a short time is a really powerful motivator for them to work hard to get that trust back. Also, as well, speaking with young people, lots of our young people say that there's a dichotomy. For example, their parent will treat them differently to their brother and sister, and sometimes I don't know whether they're actually aware of that. And it's really good for you to be aware of what you're saying when you're complimenting, when you're praising, or when you're giving a sanction, and really be aware of what you're saying. Like, are you just giving sanctions? Are you just telling them off? Or are you really, saying something positive, something negative, something positive, something negative? Some different people and different bodies will give different amounts of praise that are needed. But I would say that, at least two bits of praise to every constructive criticism would be really good. So thank you for watching this video. The purpose of this video really is to talk about the experiences we've had when we're working with parents and young children. And the first thing we're talking about really is just really making sure that we've got a family mission statement of how you would like, the values that you'd like to instill in your children and young people. And then once you've got those values, then you know what you're going to mold your child into. And the second one is really walking the talk. You're the example, you're the leader. So young people are going to see what you do. They're not going to listen to what you say. And the third thing really is looking at emotional intelligence. Now, as a mental health charity and working with young people with mental health difficulties, emotional intelligence is so important. It's more important than the IQ. So EQ, young people that have got high displayed amounts of emotional intelligence, they're more successful. They're ones that get promoted more readily and quickly to be leaders and managers. They're in better, stronger relationships. They have interfamilial ties that are stronger. And we can do that. They're more aware of their emotions. They know how to manage their emotions. They know the impact of how they're feeling on those around them. And also as well, they know how to manage people around them. And so here at the foundation, when we're working with young people, the young people that we're working with, we show them how to manage, to measure their mood and to manage their mood, because this is the beginning of emotional intelligence. And as parents, it's really, really important that you that you are not only modeling who you want your child to be, but also as well displaying emotional intelligence. So when you're upset about something, and it's like, there's nothing wrong with being upset. Like parents, as parents, we will be upset about things all of the time. And what doesn't work is if something isn't going according to plan, to hide it away. Oh, I don't want to distress my child. I don't want them to see me like this. And I think this is the best time for them to see you like this. It's good for them to see when you're upset, because you're modeling how you're managing the situation and you're modeling it to them. Because what happens is that we speak with parents and parents say, oh, well, I can see that I've acted in a way, in a high anxious way, and I can see my child is copying my behavior. So they're going to be copying your behavior anyway. So it's really, really good if you can manage yourself and be with that emotion. Like if you're upset about something, you can be upset about it, but how you manage it and how you manage your mood in that situation, or you manage that trauma and get out of it, is really gold, is really invaluable for a young person, for them to learn and take that for themselves. So when things are happening to them, because sooner or later, let's face it, a young person is going to have something that they need to deal with, and they need to have that resilience. And you as the parent are the role model. And it isn't just, looking good and hiding all of the negative stuff. It's dealing with the stuff that isn't working in life, because the first 10 years is just so important, because in the teenage years, the young people will start everything that you've taught them in 0 to 10. They're taking that and they're running with it in the teenage years and up into adulthood. So thank you for watching this video. Today we've been looking at a summary of a parents group and all the dealings that we've had and experience we've had with parents with the young people that we're dealing with. So the first one is making sure that you're writing a mission statement, and this can be like a mission statement or values. So imagine your children in 30 or 40 years time. What qualities can you see them having? What can you see, their children and their families? And it's those qualities you want to build on. And if you're there with a partner, then you can do that together with a partner. The second one is really modeling the change you want to see, the person you want to be, because young people are going to listen to what we do. They're going to watch what we do. They're not going to listen to what we say. And the third thing is really focusing on emotional quotient rather than intelligent quotient. IQ is good, but it's emotional quotient in this fast changing world where we've got artificial intelligence and all of these other things. And, very soon we don't know which professions are still going to be continued and which ones are going to be discontinued. The emotional intelligence is key, and it's the best gift we can give to our young people to help them going forward and to help bridge that gap and make that gap between childhood and adulthood really, really strong. So thank you for watching this video. And if there's any questions that you have, please do put them below. Or please contact me. My name's Jackie at juliancampbellfoundation.org. So thank you, and we'll see you next week in the next video. Thank you.